All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Hey, welcome. We are back right here on. Actually, I think I'm going to call this Talk Live Philly or Talk Philly because we're not really live, but hey, we're taping it live, so I guess we could still call it live. Anyway, we are joined, of course, by our co-host, as always, Mr. Van Stone. Van, how you doing today?
I'm all right. This is Van Stone, the face behind the voice. Welcome, everybody. Of course, we're here with Jay Wilson and, of course, the one and only DJ Whitney or Miss Whitney. What's up, Miss Whit?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? How y'all doing today?
All right, good. So we're going to just go into this format since it's a little different, but we're going to go right into the conversation so our viewers and listeners know how this works. It's just a lot of stuff going on. I mean, it's almost too much, really. Not only do we have the changes with the president, we've had a lot of unfortunate deaths with entertainment, and so we're just going to talk. We're going to talk how we feel, and we want, of course, Philadelphians to know that we're here, we're with you, and we're going to try to be the comfort and support for you. In the meantime, we're dealing with a lot of businesses as well. They're trying to get off the ground, and some of them having a little problem here and there. But we're about to go into spring. So it's the month of March, it's 2025. And I don't know if the conversation is going to be as positive as people would like it to be, but we've just got to be right and to the point about what's happening because these are very serious times. So with that in mind, I'm gonna throw it back to you, Ms. Whitney, because I want to congratulate you, number one, on your show. You have a 5-minute segment, your own show, and you talk about several things. So do you want to start with anything that you have in mind right now, or we can just go into Trump, which really everybody is focusing on?
That's basically what I wanted to talk about, Elon Musk and Trump. It's just that I've never seen somebody who has no official position in the Oval Office and is always there at the White House. Elon Musk, he's so busy focused on what goes on in the White House, he's not even focused on his own businesses. And, he's like, a lot of people are not happy right now. A lot of people, especially the ones that voted for Trump. They're like, we voted for Trump, not Elon Musk. Yes, you did. He was one of his biggest endorsers. So you did vote for Elon Musk when you voted for Trump.
Of course they did. And now, Eli, the funny thing is, like you said, Whitney, you see all these Trump voters are saying, I didn't know he was going to do this, and I didn't know he was going to do that. He told you what he was going to do. He ran on exactly what he's doing now. So it's no surprise that, he's in that White House trying to tear everything asunder. I actually think he's trying to tear the United States apart, the federal government.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Van?
Well, let's continue with that. Trump, basically, no one can really figure out what he's doing. I tell you that. But I'll go back with what both you and Whitney said that the voters. So the large amount of voters that voted for Trump basically were white women, white men, and dealing with these job losses and freeze and so forth right now, which is really just affecting everyone. I'm going to assume that those people who felt they were secure, the Republicans that voted for Trump, they just pretty much felt just that the cuts and different changes in Project 2025 would not affect them. And right now, they're just dead wrong. So immediately, the people who are suffering the most right now are those people who had those jobs and who voted for Trump. So how does anybody feel about that?
I mean, it's good for him. I'm sorry. I mean,
That's what they did.
you knew what you were getting, and you went ahead and did it. And now, again, that goes back to the thing I had talked about before about the leopards eating people's faces. Like, it was okay when you thought that it was going to be only the minorities and the immigrants, but now all of a sudden, hey, you get attacked. Now it's wrong. Good for them. I think they get what they deserve.
And like certain programs that we don't know about are getting cut, and they're like, "Oh my God, I can't believe they're cutting it." Okay, well, you voted for him. He said it. He was getting rid of these things that didn't make sense. While y'all spending all this money in these little certain, you know, federal funding projects and not putting money here, here, and here. So that's your fault. The one that okay, I'm gonna vote for Trump because he's gonna make America great again. Yep, he is. He's eliminating jobs. And look, unemployment is probably gonna go up a little bit because the jobs he's eliminating, to me, like the IRS, that was so messed up. He did not have to do that to them. Like, especially in the time of where we're like doing income taxes, and this is prime time. So you let all these people go, but once again, he warned y'all. He told y'all what he was going to do.
Well, one of the main parts is the DEI that they didn't realize because the Trump voters thought, you know, when you say DEI, they mean just racial equality, but DEI also includes veterans, females, people with disabilities, and the mentally and special needs, and people with special needs. So all of these areas are getting affected. And, you know, now they're saying, hey, I didn't know that my 80-year-old grandfather that served in the war was going to get cut off veteran services. And that's what's going on now.
Right. So when you look at the history of Trump, this is really important. And hopefully we have a lot of our viewers pick up on this show. But at least we'll be able to help them in some way to comfort and understand why Trump is going this direction. So when it comes to people with disability, Trump has a history in his own family that he's so used to really trying to eliminate anyone who may have a disability. So for an example, there's a relative that basically passed away in his family. And in the history, when Trump did have some money, the family, certain members were reaching out to try to get support. And Trump basically, even then, in his own family, felt like that person who had the disability should just die. Now, if you think about that attitude, that character of Trump, that comes from basically the background, those who were really negative leaders when it comes to, say, that time of Germany and so forth, and the Nazis. And I kind of, don't like to really just throw that out there so loose with the Nazis and so forth and so on. But that attitude of the Nazis, that's just the way it went. That people who had disabilities, or if they even considered you to have a disability, basically those people were eliminated through different means, experimentation, or just outright extermination. So let's bring this back in now, right now. Let's continue to talk about this because Ms. Whitney, you made a lot of good points. When you and I were talking offline, I'd like to really hear what you have to say, especially dealing with the people who are going to suffer falling up under disabilities, whether they're veterans or whether they're just persons who have physical disabilities or intellectual disabilities. We see firsthand that those who work with the people as well are also going to be affected. So what do you think about that, Ms. Whitney?
I mean, I think that's a serious situation. I mean, a lot of these people cannot do everyday work, and now I'm being judged on part of what they can do. It's going to hurt them, and it's going to hurt us. And I feel real sorry for some of the veterans that did not want Trump in the office because they said the first term he did them dirty. But like we said before, the majority of them voted for him. They did not want this black woman in to run this office. I mean, Kamala really focused on more of transgendering and women's rights, and I get it. But she got forced to be she didn't have time to really do her campaign the exact way, or correct way, should I say. I think if she had more time and more focus on areas that the people were focusing on, it would have been a little different. It might have been a little bit more of a swing shift, not as far as the votes, I was just astounded how many more votes that he had compared to her. But back into the transition of the vets and, some of the intellectual disabled people, I just feel as though that it's a shame. It's a shame. They're already struggling, and now they got to struggle more. So, I mean, I don't know. How do y'all feel about that? Do y'all feel about like Kamala should have had a little bit more time, or if she had a little bit more time, or if they should just let Joe go ahead and continue running and then let her be in office?
Well, I think Joe Biden should have withdrawn from the race earlier to give her more time. Also, I think she did not hit hard enough about the veterans and about the women and about everything else that's happening now. And like you said, she focused mainly on LGBTQ and things that kind of sometimes, for whatever reason, whether right or wrong, could turn people off. She focused on the wrong stuff and not the right stuff. And maybe given the opportunity, in 4 years, she could come back and redo it and win.
Right. Well, but that's a great question, Ms. Whitney. So let's look at Kamala Harris. The thing is, what Kamala Harris is facing, she's faced the same thing that you and I are facing. We're not running for election, but at the same time, certain big decisions that we would like to make, we don't have the funding. And so when you have to rely on someone else, where the money is going to go, what happened to Kamala Harris was also terrible. And this is basically the Democratic Party, where the money did not go out to the people who had the boots on the ground so that they could go out and do the proper campaigning. And that's what they've been talking about now, that, you want people to vote. You should be in the neighborhoods where the people are, and it takes money. So for an example, they're talking about where they have the person who's the leader of the Democratic Party. Some of these people get paid, but there's a lot of people who don't get paid. And so right now they're talking about now changing that so that the persons who take the lead in that, they may get $20,000 to $25,000 a year. And they want to even raise that up so that they can go out and recruit other people. Well, that's a little bit of money, but most of the other people, they want them to volunteer. And once again, what Trump is doing and the platform, and now he's just able to just take jobs away from people all over the country. That then would really get in the Kamala Harris way anyway, because the way that she would try to go about it, she just wouldn't have been able to control where the money goes. What do you think, Jerry?
Well, I mean, she had a lot of money. Donations.
That's what I'm about to say, Mr. Tam. A lot of them people, when they found out that she was getting, and when she was running, them black women stepped up, them sororities. I mean, people really stepped up and did give her a lot of money.
I don't think it was a financial.
They put out a lot of money, but when it comes to allegation, what they have is those who are the chairman. That's a whole different position. Those people who have the control how to allocate the money all over the country. That's, there's an election for that as well. And they had that already. So they have a brand new chairperson who's over how the money is allocated and so forth and so on. That's what I'm talking about. While the money came in, which is great and wonderful, the people who are in charge of the money and how that will be spread out properly, they did not do the right thing. And so here we're talking about, whether you're talking about Kamala Harris or you're talking about what Trump is doing now and Elon Musk, it's the same thing. Those who have the power over the money, this is why all these positions are getting cut. And here's another thing. Trump had a lot of problems with these particular groups. Believe it or not, he had a problem with the IRS. So that's why you have all these jobs getting cut. He had a problem with some of the veterans, believe it or not. And so he's going after everything that really was a problem. And then Elon Musk, he's making
a problem for him, like you said, yeah. I mean, because he's always bragged about how he doesn't pay taxes and this and this. So now they're coming after him. He's like, oh, I'm going to get y'all. Well, and then the fact that, I'm sorry, go ahead, Jerry.
Well, he's already said, again, listen to a person when they tell you who they are. He's already said during his campaign that his presidency will be one of retribution towards his enemies. And he's making very well good on those promises to go after the groups that he feels wronged him, which is not the way you should really be as a president. that would be more of something like North Korea would do. But of course, North Korea and countries like that are the people that he looks up to, and that's his personality. Mm-hmm. I actually think if Trump were to take a sociopath test, he would score. It's called the PCL-22 test, which is a test for psychopathy and to be a sociopath. I think he's a sociopath. He seems to lack empathy for other people. You got the grandiosity. It's just everything is all about him. And people don't realize, especially his voters, that they basically voted a sociopath in office. I didn't say psychopath. I said sociopath. Right. Mm-hmm. So we're going to go to break, but I wanted to get you guys' opinion about that before we go. Van?
Oh, well, that's definitely already been so true about him, and it's been researched already. He falls into that category. And when you have a person like that, they don't see anything, don't have any feelings. They can lie, as he can say this or say that. And then the people who he's just got into office, part of the new cabinet, they also have the same strategy. They'll lie and say anything, and then once they get approved, this is why a lot of the madness is actually happening right now.
All right. We're going to take We're going to take a break real quick, and we will be right back.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies. Because when people are fed, futures are nourished. Everyone deserves to live a full life. And with your help, together we can end hunger. Join the movement at feedingamerica.org/actnow.
Heather and I had an argument just like any other couple. I was lost and lonely. I had snapped, I had a gun, and I was going to take my own life. Heather helped me realize that there was still life to live. For the better of myself, my family, my weapon is now safely put away.
My son, Ricky, took his life by the use of a firearm. It broke me in ways that I never knew that I could be broken. And I contemplated suicide. Afterwards, we found out his girlfriend, she was pregnant. If that was my grandson, I was gonna have to be here for him. I still own my firearm. I keep it in a safe because I want to keep my grandson and myself safe.
A moment of crisis can happen to anyone.
Store your gun securely, locked, unloaded, and away from ammo.
All right, and we are back right here on what was called the Philly Live Show. We're going to change that name. I'm going to ask probably off the camera, Ms. Whitney and Van, if they have any suggestions for the new name for our show. So that will be coming up. But getting back to Trump, I did want to ask you guys about this White House visit from Vladimir Zelensky of the Ukraine, where basically Trump and his people just pounced on him and ended up throwing him out of the White House because, Trump's saying that he disrespected him, so he kicked him out the White House. What do you guys think about that? I'm going to start with Whitney.
Well, can I pause just for a second? Pause just for a second? So, Jerry, I need you to do something. We have another guest that's been longing to come on the show. Can you text me the link so that I can send that to her so she can come in Zoom?
I can't do it now. It's going to have to be on the next show.
Okay. Well, if I email her the link, then she can get it?
She could try, but we only got 10 minutes anyway, so.
Okay, but I'm saying, can the person still can come in, right?
They can try.
Okay. You just can't text it. All right. Go ahead, Whit. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I thought that was just an embarrassment I felt sorry for the guy because he's like, you don't got a suit. You're not wearing a suit. Well, first of all, isn't he like Muslim? So certain attires they wear, I've never seen a full Muslim wear a suit. I always seen them guarded up. And I just saw how disrespectful he is. He's lucky that man did not plant, like, go ahead and throw a bomb on us, on the White House. Like, he don't really know how many bridges he's burning with some of these countries. Italy is looking frowning upon us. I mean, it's a shame. It's a shame. The way he talked to that man was just unacceptable. This man came with peace to come talk to you, and you belittled him. You made him less of a man.
Well, I personally think. Oh, go ahead, Whitney.
Oh, and I'm like, how do you think that man is going to react in the near future?
I don't think Trump had any intention. I think his intentions of having Zelensky to the White House were bad to begin with. There was no intent to have any meaningful dialogue. It was just a show. That's why Trump already worked out a deal with Russia and Putin, and this PR thing was just to embarrass Zelensky. That's my opinion, Van. And by the way, we're running out of time on the Zoom.
Okay, well, go ahead and keep talking.
Well, that I wanted to get your opinion about that.
Well, I'm trying to send this email to her.
Well, unfortunately, we don't have time to have anyone else in. We're about to run out of time. But so Whitney, is there anything that you wanted to bring up?
Well, you didn't say that. Now you don't have time. Okay.
No, you guys can't see the thing pop up when it says we're about to run out of time, but we are.
Okay, but we got 5 minutes, right?
We have approximately 5 minutes.
All right, that's time. That's good. That's not plenty of time. Go ahead, keep going.
So anyway, something else in the news that you actually brought up, Van, was all of these celebrity deaths. We just had Angie Stone, who used to be with a group called The Sequence back in the day, the early days of hip hop, and she had a nice solo career as an R&B singer. Just passed away a couple of days ago. Her van flipped over
yesterday,
and it's funny. Yesterday, and it's funny. There was 7 other people in that van. Also, the people in the other vehicles. It was 3 other vehicles. No one else perished except for Angie. So, also we had Roberta Flack just passed away, and I'm sure you guys heard about Gene Hackman and his wife and dog passed away. I mean, it's just a lot of, depressing.
Unexpected deaths.
Yeah, unexpected deaths. And we understand people, everybody dies. It's just, it's just coming more rapidly.
Right.
Yeah.
And then like Gene Hackman, they don't even know what the cause of death was. Him, his wife, and dog died. And I said, well, was that carbon monoxide? Like, how do all 3 of them die peacefully? Like, did they say, okay, we're going to drink the juice of Jim Jones? You know what I mean? Like, that was weird to me. And the girl from Gossip Girl, she passed away, 39. I mean, like, these people are like, passing away kind of young.
Yeah,
like, this is out of the norm.
Yeah, that was something that, I'm glad you brought that up. I'm noticing there's a lot more younger people passing away now. So anyway, Van, is there anything you wanted to bring up?
Because we still got 3 minutes, right?
Yes.
So let me jump in. Hopefully, her name is Miss Christine. She can come in. If not, Angie Stone was a very loved person. Been around for a long time. It's such a tragedy. Actually, we're the same age. Well, I'll be 63 coming in June. So she just turned 60. I mean, yes, she just turned 63. And that's just really, sad and bizarre when you just losing someone unexpectedly like that. So I wanted to mention that. Then, also with Gene Hackman, they still don't know what happened really just yet, or why he passed away. Ms. Witt, you want to say something?
No, like we were talking, like these younger people and unexpected deaths is coming around a lot more than normal. I mean, it's only the 2nd month of 2025, and so many people have passed away at young ages too. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's the drugs. I don't know if it's just they stressed out of life. Because at the end of the day, these people that are famous are everyday people. I know Angie Stone was just a tragedy. It was a car accident. So, that's just, that happens. hey, I mean, it's sad to say it, but that was a car accident. But some of the other people, they don't know. They're questioning, like, how are these people dying? How the planes are flying in the air and crashing into a helicopter? Like, there's a lot of questions out here, and no one has the answer. They can't just say it's the act of God, because I disagree with that.
All right, so we're going to wrap up. So as always, we do our final thoughts, 30 seconds or less. Van, do you want to go or do you want Whitney to go?
You can let Whitney go.
Whitney, 30 seconds, final thought.
My final thought is just, we got 4 more years of this man in office. It's only going to get worse. All I can say is us as people, we need to stick together, keep our heads up, and pray.
All right, Van.
Well, hopefully we'll have a show tomorrow. I don't know what you're thinking, but we need to really get consistent with this. We do have people that are interested. We're all on a crazy, flexible, uncontrolled schedule, and I think this is necessary. So I think the Philly Funk Radio show is a good job to have, and we do appreciate you. And hopefully maybe we'll do a show tomorrow.
All right. So my personal thoughts is, everybody, just take care of yourself. You see the topics that we're talking about. Make sure that you stay healthy. That's all I got to say, mentally and physically. So anyway, we'll try to do
a show tomorrow. We'll do a show tomorrow.
We're going to talk off air. Anyway, We'll see you guys later.
Right.
Have a wonderful evening, and have a wonderful afternoon and evening.
All right.